Hey church family, this is a pastor and I'm here with a friend of mine and a fellow church member and worshiper together with the Lord here at Cottonwood, Weldon. And I wanted you to get the opportunity just to get to know Weldon a little bit, hear a little bit of his story. If you've ever looked up in the worship choir on a Sunday morning, you've seen him up there singing away and glorifying God. But you know, oftentimes we forget and that there are difficult things that happen in people's lives, and the question is not whether you can avoid trials and difficulties and hardships in your life, but it's really what you can let God do through those trials or after those difficulties and still come out on the other side and praise God and see hope in the future. So Weldon, tell everybody just a little bit about your story.
Well, on October 13th of 2007, I was in a motorcycle accident and I was T-boned by an SUV. I lost my right leg. I was in a coma 27 days. I died twice, lacerated liver, pulverized kidney, traumatic brain damage, and it was God working, getting me back on path the way I needed to be again, to where I started drifting away from God and hanging out with the wrong people and doing all the wrong things Mom and Dad told me not to do, and then just surrounding myself with the wrong people. And it was God's way of saying, "No, son, this is where I want you to walk."
So you were out. Was it a nighttime accident?
Yes, sir. It was a nighttime accident. It was about 11 at night. I was just riding on my motorcycle, just enjoying the beautiful weather, and thought I'd come back home in a few hours or an hour or so, and never made it back home.
Just never made it back home.
No,
so truck hit you.
Yes, sir.
Did you see it coming? Did you?
No, sir.
Just happened.
Yes, sir.
All of a sudden. What's the next thing you remember?
27 days later, actually it was more longer than that, I woke up out of my coma, went all the way back to infancy. I was a baby like an infant would be. Mom and Dad had to hold me up to feed me. Everything was done just like an infant would be done.
Wow.
And it was I see God's work at hand through the whole entire process, because I never felt any pain. The very first question my mother asked me as soon as I came out of coma and started comprehending things was, "Do you forgive him?" The kid that hit me, he was 21 years old. And instantly I was like, "Yes, Mother." I mean, I did not hold no grudges, nothing at all.
So you had the opportunity, and by that time you'd come to the realization. How long was it after the accident, in the coma, that you woke up, that you realized not only it was good to be alive, but you had also lost your leg? Did you know immediately, or was that something that took a while for them to tell you about, or what?
No, sir. They told me instantly as soon as I could comprehend I lost my leg, and I accepted it.
Really?
I wasn't bitter about anything at all.
Now, so you get out of the hospital, you begin to go through rehab. They begin to help you walk in a new way. During those times, did you ever find yourself, like we all would, I think, in that situation, in times of kind of discouragement and depression, or I mean, what was some of the mindset going through? Okay, certainly you forgave the guy. Then you accepted where you were, but weren't there seasons of why me, or how did this happen, or kind of what went on in your life or your mind?
Honestly, there was only one time that I really got down in a slump, and that was whenever I was at home watching TV on my mother, and there was a song that came on. I can't recall the song, but it brought tears in my eyes and my heart, and it brought me down low, but at the same time it was also helping me at the same time.
Really?
And I never had a point of why me,
really,
because I knew everything that I did in my past brought me to the point where I was at that day.
Wow. So you had realized that, hey, probably should have been worse,
yes,
could have been worse.
Yes,
I'm grateful for where I am. So through that process, you sense God speaking to you through those circumstances, even through the hardships and the difficulties. And now, when we look up on Sunday morning, we see you worshiping. Was that something that it's been growing in your heart as you've grown to know God better and walk with Him better? Is that something? Have you always sung in the choir, or kind of tell us what's going on?
Well, before I came to Cottonwood Creek, I was on the worship team at the other church I was at. I played the bass guitar. And I've always had the urge to, not urge, but the want to sing, to play the guitar for God and show Him that, this, Lord, I love you. Thank you for everything that you've done. And I was kind of discouraged after we left the other church, and I wasn't going to get in the choir, but then my mom got in the choir here at this church, and it motivated me to go to get in this choir, to enjoy it and do this for God and sing for Him and give all the glory to Him and know there's nothing that's going to be wrong.
Wow. And so every week, almost, you're worshiping, you're celebrating God's grace and love in your life. But it wasn't just a motorcycle accident, because not long after that, you lost your brother, right?
Yes,
Tell us a little bit about that.
He passed away one day right after my mom's birthday, October 30th of 2011.
So through your brother's death, do you sense that God was orchestrating things or speaking to you in any kind of a more specific way, or?
No. Yes. Because I was like, when he passed away, I was going to give up my dream of keep pressing forward to the Paralympics, and whenever he passed away, it just pushed me and motivated me more to even try and thrive harder for it.
Really?
Yes, sir.
So you responded kind of to his death with more of a passion to do what you're going to do. Now, you mentioned the Paralympics.
Yes,
so even with one tragedy of a lost leg in a motorcycle accident, a willingness to forgive instead of become bitter, then the loss of your brother, you still sense that there's something out there that you need to go for. And so tell us just a little bit about what kind of training you're going through now, what your heart is, what your goal is with the Paralympics.
Right now I'm training for 2016 Brazil Paralympics, and I train every day. If I'm not at work at 24 Hour Fitness, if I'm not there, then I'm definitely on my bicycles training to get better and improve. Right now I'm just doing all the local races, and in July I'm going to the Nationals in Wisconsin to try to make the U.S. team.
So in July is kind of when they have the trials, I guess, and will it be out of that you'll find out if you can make the Olympic team, the U.S. team?
Yes, sir. Well, I have to make a specific time first, and once I make that time, then they start looking at me, and I'm noticed at that point in time.
Okay, all right. You feel like you're on your way to making that time?
I do, yes, sir.
Really?
I really do.
Well, good. Now, so then that's in the future. But, Weldon, one of the things that I wanted to share with our people is what an inspiration you are to me. And probably an inspiration and encouragement to so many others in our church, because although your a loss of a leg is very visible for some of us, but not for everybody. It's certainly a very real thing for you, but we all have those things in our life that express loss. They're broken areas of our lives, and what I want to tell you today is what an incredible encouragement you are to me, and probably to so many others in our congregation, that in spite of difficulties and hardship, you didn't give up your love for the Lord. It actually brought you closer to Him.
Yes, sir.
You didn't stop worshiping. You're actually as faithful as you've ever been to worship. And then now you're not going to quit on your dream.
No, sir.
And truthfully, how good do you feel about making the Olympic team? Is it a 50-50? What is it?
I feel really good. I feel as much as training as I'm putting into this, and as hard as I'm working every single day, that I'm feeling that this July will show definitely how hard I've been working.
Yeah.
And I feel like I feel 75%. I was looking at the times, and I'm pretty close, I think.
You're pretty close. All right.
Yes,
So, but either way, this is one of those seasons in life where whether you make it or don't make it, all you can do is train your best,
Yes, sir.
have a positive attitude, and go for it, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. And so if you make it, it's 2016 Brazil.
Yes, sir.
And either way, Cottonwood, hopefully someday, my desire is to see him someday, 2016 Brazil. But if not, here's what I know. Look up on stage every Sunday morning. You'll see a big smile on his face through the brokenness, through the pain, through a past that could have derailed him. But to God's glory, he's singing for God, and he's singing for you each and every Sunday. So Weldon,
Thank you, John Mark.
it's an honor to be your pastor.
Thank you. It's an honor.
Take care.
Yes, sir.